Hey, what's up everyone? John here from testprepinsight.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at 3 of the biggest names in NCLEX prep and comparing these courses head to head so you can figure out which one is best for you. We'll look at the realism of practice problems, their rationales, the bonus features that each offers, and at the end I'll let you know which one we see as being the best of the bunch. And by the way, I should just mention here that since I'll just be focusing on the higher level stuff in this video, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written comparison of these 3 courses over on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight Best NCLEX Courses. It's a quick way to find it. Okay, so let me start with a more general statement about these 3 packages. Most people use these 3 prep courses for practice work. Archer, UWorld, and Nurse Plus all make their name with their QBanks. If you want more full-scale content review, other prep companies like Kaplan, Nursing.com, and Hearst are probably going to be a better fit. Those packages are more comprehensive. These 3 courses that we're talking about here today are more geared towards nursing students who, first off, want to keep things affordable, preferably under a couple $100, and 2, just need to hammer a couple thousand practice problems and learn by doing, rather than sitting through lectures or reading books. And that's exactly why these 3 courses are frequently compared to one another and fall into the same general bucket. Archer, UWorld, and Nurse Plus are each essentially a massive QBank with practice problems and detailed rationales, and just a handful of bonus content review tools around that. So with that in mind, rather than talking about each course individually, since they mostly deliver the same tools and functionality, I want to talk about 4 important categories and kind of dub a winner for each. Cost, how realistic the practice problems are, the answer explanations, and bonus tools. And let's start with cost. So Archer has about a dozen different packages to choose from, which kind of makes it difficult to compare cost. They basically package their materials up all sorts of different ways with different content access periods and different included features, and you end up with this crazy pricing grid. But if you're just looking at their standard QBank with 60 days of access, that's going to be about $90. Then you've got Nurse Plus Academy. They have just 3 different options, which are all the same except for content access period. Prices range from around $50 to $140, depending on if you want 30 days of access, 60 days of access, or a full year. And lastly, there's UWorld, which is the most expensive of the 3. Their QBank ranges from around $160 up to $450, depending on features and access length. So in terms of price, Archer and Nurse Plus are neck and neck in terms of affordability. Both of their mainstay packages are right around $100, while UWorld is way more expensive. Even UWorld's cheapest option is still twice the cost of the other 2. So if you're looking to keep costs down, you're probably going to want to look at Nurse Plus Academy or Archer. They definitely offer more value on the cost front. Plus, even though we're talking about value prep options here, these companies are still pretty good about running sales and special promos where you can knock a few bucks off, especially Nurse Plus. They're really aggressive with their discounting. So do make sure to look for coupon codes before buying. In fact, I'll actually do my best to keep the description down below updated with the most current discount and promo codes that I can find floating around out there for all 3 companies, so make sure to check out that text below the video screen and maybe save yourself some money. Okay, next, let's talk about the realism of practice questions, or in other words, how well each company matches the content, difficulty, and format of real NCLEX problems. And this is a tough call because it's a qualitative measure, but for our team, Nurse Plus Academy gets the win for most realistic problems. Their problems are just a dead ringer for real NCLEX questions, and it's really hard to tell the difference. Now, don't get me wrong, Archer and UWorld largely do a good job as well, but Nurse Plus just grades out higher. Everything from the length, to content, to difficulty of problems, to the proportionate mix of next-gen problem types is just spot on. We were just super impressed with Nurse Plus. Not to mention, Nurse Plus also gives you more problems than the other 2 companies, including a bunch of alternate format questions like select all that apply, hotspot items, and ordered response items, all of which you need to drill on. I think they have close to 400 of these next-gen problems. And with their unlimited simulated exams, this is kind of an easy category for us to pick a winner. Then, you've got to look at rationales, or in other words, problem explanations. And again, this is sort of a qualitative thing to look at. But what I'll say here is that we have UWorld having the best rationales, but only by a smidge. Archer and Nurse Plus are tied for a close second here. The truth is that we really like the rationales from all 3 companies, but we just give UWorld the edge for all of the awesome graphics that they provide. Almost every one of the answer solutions from UWorld contains some sort of picture or diagram or nice visual. And for visual learners, this can be a nice value add over just getting text explanations. Nurse Plus and Archer also include visuals with a lot of the rationales, but it's just not every problem like it seems to be with UWorld. And I would just note for Archer in particular that some of their explanations were a little on the thin side. Most are okay and provide decent depth, but some are only a few sentences long and left us wanting more. So basically for this category, it's a nice little win for UWorld because of their visuals, though Nurse Plus has rock solid explanations of their own and Archers aren't bad either. And by the way, if you want to see some examples of the problem explanations from all three companies, make sure to check out that full detailed written comparison that I already mentioned. I'll have it linked down below in the description for you. I have screenshots and examples over there so you can get a better feel for what to expect. Then lastly, you've got bonus tools. And again, we're mostly talking about QBanks in this video because that's the heart and soul of each of these three programs, but we've got to mention the extras that each kicks in. So for Archer, that's video lessons. With their standard 60-day QBank, they'll also give you access to pre-recorded webinars from their live content review sessions. That way, if you feel like you do need some content review, you can go back and watch pre-recorded video lectures to get a refresher. Full disclaimer though, the production quality of their video lessons is not great, but the content is pretty good. Then you've got Nurse Plus, who kicks in flashcards and cheat sheets as their sort of bonus content review tools. There's only 300 of these flashcards, but I think they're surprisingly helpful, and the cheat sheets are an awesome last-minute refresher. They take a couple hours to get through, but they can add a lot of value. And UWorld doesn't really offer much, to be honest. They have a tool where you can generate your own flashcards for quick review within their QBank, and their illustrations in the rationales are awesome, like I already touched on, but there's not a ton of cool extras. UWorld has some performance metrics and diagnostic exams, but all three companies offer those at this point, so it's nothing special. So bottom line here, I think Archer and Nurse Plus have a clear advantage in terms of extras, and which one is better really just depends on the medium of content you want, video or cheat sheets and flashcards. But anyway, that about does it for this video, so let's get to my final verdict. But before I get to that, I should just mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a free prep course to one lucky person. Super simple to enter. Everyone out there is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description on how to get entered, but just know that it takes like 10 seconds and hey, you never know. You could win a totally free NCLEX review course from one of the companies I've talked about here today. Okay, the final verdict. So if you're just trying to pick one NCLEX prep course among these three, I would point you towards Nurse Plus Academy. I think they just give you the best combination of value, realistic practice work, quantity of practice material, and they have some solid rationales as well. For us, they just kind of have it all, while Archer and UWorld fall short in one category or another. That said, if detailed rationales with tons of visuals is mission critical to you, UWorld might be a better choice. Or similarly, if you want extra video lectures with your package, Archer might be a better fit. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to just pick one of these QBank-based review courses, I would go with Nurse Plus. But anyway, that's all I've got for you. I hope this video has been helpful and you learned a little something about all three of these courses. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping me a quick comment below. That would be really appreciated. And again, if you want to see that detailed written comparison that I mentioned earlier in this video, just hop on over to our website, testprepinsight.com, or check out the other videos on our YouTube channel. We've got a bunch of great video content out there. But as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.